All
right, welcome everyone. It's a beautiful Tuesday night here in BC, and we have a special guest presenter tonight. And we're going to aim for about an hour. This meeting will be recorded too, so for whatever reason you need to drop out, we will circulate the recording to everyone. Feel free to type in any questions that you have as we move on along here. And yeah, and if you drop out, we'll have to let you back into the room too if you want to come back into the room, because everyone is held in a waiting room. So yeah, so let's go. Let's get going.
The bouncer here, so if you get kicked out of the room, you got to deal with him to get back in.
So tonight's special guest, we've had him on before, and some of you may have seen his presentations and have familiarity with him. And we're going to go by his trading name tonight. He's got some interesting things that he wants to share with us. The interesting theme of today's presentation was in the subject line of the meetup for tonight. And so welcome again to the Vancouver Forex meetup, and I'll turn the time over to 3 Clips.
All right. Thanks, Sam. Wow. Time has flied. You know, it's been a long time since I've spoken with you guys. And I just thought I'd let you know what I've been up to. And not only that, I want this, you know, because an hour today is so precious, you know, especially coming from a family man. I know how precious time is. So for all those that came on tonight for just an hour, I know the recording's there, but for all those that did commit to take the time to listen, I want to thank you for that. And my greatest desire and prayer is that this hour, that when you leave here, that you will leave here a better trader and more knowledgeable. At least if you're here, you're involved in trading somehow. And when you leave here tonight after this hour, that you will have a better understanding of what it took me a very, very long time to really kind of get down and grasp. Okay. So this whole idea of SMA trading, as you know, I started it back when the pandemic started, and it started for save my account trading. That's what it started as. But funnily enough, those same letters, SMA, it became also another thing. It was smart money analysis trading. And since I last presented here, I want to thank you for those that took the chance, because yeah, it takes a chance to, especially someone that, you know, to trust someone, to take a mentorship. So many of you did step out of your comfort zone and did seek out and say, you know what, I'm not going to try to do this on my own. And they reached out to me. And so it was really good to see that in the beginning, I just stepped out to see, you know, is this service really something that people need? And after I did all these consultations and all these meetings, which some of you that tonight, I know that some of you guys became my students, and some of you guys are using SMA trading and the ideas that we teach to find unbelievably legendary trades. And I'm going to be going over that, like I did promise. I said I would go over the 100x Bitcoin trade. That is our crown trade. And these things are things that people can only dream of that are possible. I haven't found yet anyone that's really made a 100x trade. A lot of people I know that did make money on the Bitcoin run up from the COVID crash since we first introduced here. And funny, I want to see if he's actually here in the room. Let's see, who is it? There's Gord. Yeah, so Kingsley's not here, but I was actually in a consultation with him when I had taken that trade. So he knows that I did take that trade, because I had to put that consultation on hold. But that trade, again, I'm not going to spend the whole evening going through that. But I wanted to first start off, you know, with what I found in trading after doing it for so long. And why is it that if you're involved in trading, that you need to know this knowledge to really kind of get a grasp and get an edge on this market? So smart money analysis trading, like, what is it? Okay. And what it really is it's the art of studying and understanding what the smart money is doing in these markets. You know, many traders that I speak to, they trade from all different types of methods. And I love constantly talking and mingling with the traders, really, really good traders, just to see like, what is it that they do? And it's something that I've always done. And one thing that nobody can contest is the idea that these big moves in the market, they don't move based on indicators. And this is this dream world that a lot of traders live in, is that they think that with this specific method or pattern that they can just trade this over and over again and they can just get rich, right? And it's a dream world. And since we last spoke, I did launch a website. There's a lot of good information there. There's actually some case studies of some of you guys. I know, hey, Nick, thanks for joining us, by the way. I put up your case study there. Thank you for that. So you guys can take a look at my website. It's smatrading.io. And there's some good case studies there, along with more information on that Bitcoin 100x trade plus over there. You can take a look at that. So SMA trading, you know, has anyone here, and has anyone seen The Matrix here? Anyone seen the movie Matrix? So this is not just going to be me speaking. I want to ask you guys a question. Has everyone seen The Matrix? I would think most people have seen that Matrix. Yeah, thanks, Sam. And, you know, the idea of the movie The Matrix, it's like, yeah, right, Nick. Okay, sure you go. Yeah. Oh, Doji. Oh, man, thanks for coming. Oh, Doji is a longtime friend of mine, man. He's awesome, man. I'm so glad that you came here. I still want to catch up with what you're doing, man. I still want to catch up with what you've been doing, but thanks for coming. Doji's way back from my Forex days, right? And he's an amazing trader. And a lot of the stuff that I use today, it's influenced by a lot of the stuff that we would used to look at back in the day, like Momo and Z-lines and things like that. A lot of it all derived from that, which was like, I don't know, like 8-9 years ago, right? Anyway, so if you remember in the movie, right, the whole idea of the Matrix was that, if you remember when Neo got unplugged from the Matrix and Morpheus was talking to him, sitting down, explaining what the Matrix is. And he was explaining that it's a simulation, right? It's a simulation that's designed to put humans in this dream world while they get turned into batteries to power the machines. That's really what the Matrix was this dream world. And I found that trading is exactly the same thing. It's the same storyline, where the smart money has built this system to get people, to induce people to take positions in the market thinking that they're going to make money, when really it's the game set against them, and to turn them from a trader into liquidity. And, you know, people go into trading thinking they're going to make money. And that is and the education out there. This is what I found really strange, because, you know, most people know me, right? I've looked at almost everything there is out there. And what I found something very, very strange, even today, you know, I was in a trading room with some really, really good traders and was talking to them about volume. And they were telling me, oh, I don't know why I should look at volume. I don't know. You know, it's not accurate, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, man, I used volume in Forex. That's not even real volume, right? That's tick data, and it still works there. And if you can recall what I had mentioned last time, and if you look at the headline in the post that Sam put up, right? He said that, you know, wake up traders, the Matrix has you follow the smart money. So I'm going to take you back, because I did promise I would expose a couple scandals that I found in my 11 years of trading. So I'm going to just share my screen here, right? So you guys can have a picture to this here. So let me just share my screen. All right, there we go. I know some of you guys have seen this page here, and I know some of my students, I told you, like, look, for your homework, I want you to just take a look at this page to get a good idea, because if I can create a picture in your mind to what it is I'm trying to educate with you tonight, or if I'm working with you for the first time and you're under mentorship with your trading, if you understand the story, it will help you understand what you need to do, right? So really, at the beginning of Neo's journey in the movie was he followed the white rabbit, if you remember. And what I'm telling traders, and I'm educating traders to encourage them to do, because from all the consultation I've done, I would say roughly about maybe 2%, 2 to 5%, I'm being generous here, actually use volume in their trading. And it's amazing to me that they would be missing such a key point of data. You know, we're all looking at the same chart, right? Price, time, and volume. Doesn't matter what market you're trading. Price, time, and volume. And the volume can be tick data or whatever. But those three, that's the raw data of the market, right? And the smart money, they can make moves in the candles. That's what they do. But they cannot hide in the volume. They cannot hide in the volume. And I found it really interesting that after 100 years later, there are people today that don't know who Tom Williams is. They don't know who Wyckoff is. But you ask them about Elliott Wave, you ask them about Fibonacci, you ask them about Bollinger, right? They know about all those characters. But only maybe out of all the people I consulted, it was only one person, and I've spoken to hundreds of traders since we last spoke. There was only one person that was using volume spread analysis, and he was actually using it incorrect. So I found that there was this, it was really strange to me that very few people were using this. And then I realized this is done for a reason. Okay, and the stuff that I'm telling you guys, like I said, I was going to expose like a scandal that's been around for 100 years, okay? Richard Wyckoff, okay? If you look who he was, okay? He was that first one that was unplugging people from the matrix. So it's not like I'm coming out to you with something that I've discovered now and I'm like, you know, I'm a genius. I put myself out as another Morpheus to pull people out from that matrix, right? That they get stuck in this trading world. But Wyckoff was the source of it, okay? And Wyckoff, he educated people to the real rules of the game. That's what he dedicated his life towards, right? And out of all the other 5 titans, he was the only source that focused on interpreting and anticipating what the big players were doing in the markets. And you can understand why. You know, all the education out there, they all push everything else but Wyckoff's stuff. It's really become, VSA has become what's known as, I put it down there as a lost art. And I found that really, really interesting. Now, it's kind of, I guess you can say, you know, I was divinely guided. I'm not going to really get too much into that, but it is the truth. I was divinely guided to meet certain people on my trading journey, which I thought I was reflecting back. I was like, very interesting that every single one of these particular instrumental people in my trading journey, they were all very spiritually minded people. I'm just going to leave it at that. But one of you guys that I did mention was one of my head mentors, which was the guy who traded and introduced me to volume spread analysis. He introduced me to that, and I always tried to incorporate that. I know, but Doji, you remember, like we always tried to incorporate that in the methods that we're doing back in the day. I remember we had momentum, we had volume, and we were doing a bunch of other things, but we were always trying to incorporate volume. And the reason why is because, you know, Aman, right? He was a legendary trader. He was one that could turn 500 bucks into 50K in a couple months. And he would go and rescue people that were struggling in trading. And I was really blessed to have him as my mentor. And again, I'm not going to repeat what we did last time, right? If you guys know the story, he was a very, very good trader. And I was very lucky to be introduced to that. But I realized why he was so good. He was so good because he focused on following what the smart money is. And he built, you know, he was using other technical indicators and things like that. But he didn't do, and he taught me one thing. He said, you know, volume is king, right? And I teach that today. I teach my students today. Volume is king. You can trade whatever you want. You know, I was trying to explain to this, you know, this group of traders here, you know, I was trying to explain to them, why do I use volume? And they're confused. They're saying, well, you know, you can just use TA. I said, yeah, you can use your TA. You can do all that stuff, right? But, you know, I use volume to confirm what the big players are likely doing. That's what it originally was designed for. And this is in the 1930s, right? Wyckoff comes from the 1930s. Now, Wyckoff, he dedicated his life to expose what these big players and these market manipulators were doing in the markets. Wyckoff's stuff was later on taken by Tom Williams. And he was a very famous trader back in those days. And he later took that stuff and he came up with the idea of volume spread analysis, right? And you can see I wrote it down here, you know, Wyckoff on steroids. That's what people knew it as, and it was very, very appropriate. And so the stuff that my mentor taught me was on the Tom Williams stuff. And I've told you guys, I've told everyone, read the book, Master the Markets. It's an old book. Tom Williams is long gone from this world, but his stuff continues on. And, you know, but his stuff today, very, very, very few traders use it. And I thought it was really interesting that, you know, Tom Williams, if in his interview, he said that VSA has a 90% accuracy. He said the charts never lie. And I said, well, that's interesting. You know, we're all trying to get an edge in trading, right? That trading is all about probabilities, right? Well, why not use something that has a 90% probability? I mean, back in the day, man, and Michael, you remember this, we used to like try to back test things, trying to find high success rates with all sorts of methods. We would spend hours and hours and hours and hours. You were around those times when we used to put in 15 hours a day, man, you know, right? We spent a huge amount of time trying to come up with something. And here, you know, my mentor there, he was almost trading maybe an hour a day. You know, he traded so little, but he was dominating the markets. And it was very frustrating for me because I was working so hard trying to find this method, right? And, you know, I want to make sure that I don't lose track of the points that I promised I was going to cover, right? So that is really the hidden scandal of trading. That smart money really doesn't want you to know what they're doing. And that's why you'll never see them pushing education on Wyckoff, Tom Williams, and things like that. They'll push everything else. They'll get you to trade on the lower time frames because they know they can clear your account faster within 90 days, right? Because again, 90% of the traders lose 90% of the account after within less than 90 days. So they want you. And there are other really high level traders that, and like Anton Kriel, right? He's educating people. Other people are educating people about the truth with this industry. It's a very dark world, guys. Trading is a very dark world. And those that have been in this long enough, they know about that. They know that it's these big players that are fleecing other traders just for liquidity, right? And that is really the truth of it. So now that you kind of are aware of that, and I was very fortunate when I was younger that I was exposed to that. I was looking back at some of the people who are instrumental in my learning of trading, and it was very strange because it was very untraditional. So most people who know my stuff, and you can look at some of the case studies on the website as well. There's an underlying message in there that this stuff is different than what's out there, right? And that's because my upbringing was different than what other people would do in trading, right? I decided, you know, back in the day to close my eyes and do my own thing, to get off the forums, and I only shared what I was seeing. I spent time looking at the charts using my unique pattern, pattern recognition to spot what the market was doing. I noticed there was these patterns, but I couldn't quite I was trying to put it together on something to trade. Again, back then I didn't fully understand VSA and I was still learning about it, right? It took me a long time to try to figure it out because my mentor at the time, he just wasn't able to make me get it, right? He was an amazing trader, but I found he just wasn't really the best teacher for me. And I had many mentors and I just found they just weren't able to fully teach me what I needed to do. So, you know, long story short, when I started to look at how these market players, and they know my different names, market manipulators, market makers, big players, smart money, influential, whatever you want to call it, these guys move price. They move price. And so I decided, instead of fighting it, I'm going to dedicate my strategies and methods to exploit what they're doing. I'm not going to fight them. I'm going to go along with them, right? And so that's what I teach traders to do, is to incorporate this idea of smart money analysis into what they're currently doing. So I'll meet with guys that were, they're forex trading and they're using fundamental trading. They're not even using a technical analysis. Other guys are using pure technical analysis. And I've, in this time when I've spoken to hundreds of traders, I've looked at hundreds of different methods. And every single one of them, I found that they could have improved in volume. And I already knew that because back in the day, I don't know if I told you guys this, but my mentor, he worked for the hedge fund, and we programmed all the different methods that we were using at that time. And we back tested them at the hedge fund and the software they had, which gave us the optimal take profits, optimal stop losses, optimal break evens. It killed us the months and the years, everything we needed that this method was successful. It was a highly advanced, and this was like almost 10 years ago, right? They had incredible equipment, which the retail, average retail person, never had access to, right? But he had access to that because he was working for the hedge fund. And what we did is we tested each method with volume and without volume. And as you can guess, with every single test, we found that using volume increased the performance of every method. And there was a whole different types of method. It was an example to test really, the power and strength of volume, right? So I know I've done the testing, I've done all the work. And plus, there's a reason why after everything that I've looked at in the trading world after 11 years, right? Why my foundation I chose is volume, right? You'll notice that there's no indicators on my charts if is those who, I have lines and circles and I have Fibonacci retracements, but it's all just lines and boxes and arrows and circles. That's really all it is. I don't have any moving average or anything like that. And that is really that I find the scandal in trading, because you'll find most of these indicators, they get you in, because if you think about it, right, the education is out there to get people to enter at a certain price. So the smart money knows the playbook of the dumb money, but the dumb money doesn't know the playbook of the smart money. And that's what I'm turning around. And it's not just me, there are other traders out there that are doing this, right? There's other traders that are doing this. And I've actually noticed there's an increase of it. There's an increase of people kind of catching on and kind of blowing the whistle, right? But it's not enough to just blow the whistle. You got to offer a solution to it, right? And so I've dedicated my 11 years to come up with a way to be able to do that. So I have my own way of trading, but it's not a method. It's not like a particular 3-candle rule or whatever, right? It's a holistic approach, because that's how it was taught to me. Volume is a holistic approach, right? And you can incorporate that in whatever style of trading you're doing, because at the end of the day, whatever chart we're looking at, right? Whatever chart we're looking at, right? We're all looking at the same chart. And this is the Bitcoin chart, right? You see there's no indicators here, right? Again, it's full of lines in this because I'm using this for teaching and lessons as well, right? And I don't delete anything because I can go back and refer to it, right? So we all look at the same chart. And if you're a good trader, you're probably going to be entering where we're entering. But you'll find that volume, right? It is the earliest sign that you can get, that I've ever found in trading. It is the earliest sign you can get to before a move happens. So I was thinking of, ways I can explain people, how could they understand why they should be using this type of trading, or why is it different, okay? So most trading, right, if you think about it, trading is like markets have a lot to do with the same elements and properties as hydrodynamics of like a wave, right? A lot of traders use Elliott wave theory and things like that. But most trading is about, if you're on a beach and you see the wave rolling out, most trading is trying to surf that wave. They're trying to measure the wave, trying to figure out how far it's going to go, which ones they can surf. So trading is kind of sort of like surfing, right? Where you're looking for a good wave, right? Most traditional trading, again, it's the measurements of that wave when it's already going, right? But this style of trading that I'm teaching traders, why are we having such amazing results? Why am I able to take someone that's, had a 3-to-1 trade and able to turn it to a 14-to-1? Why am I able to help traders get better risk-reward trade ratios on, doesn't matter what method they're using, right? It's because the way that we look at the markets is that what creates the wave is not the wave itself, but it's the tide that pulls out, right? the tide that pulls out is what creates the wave. And so when you're looking, if you can imagine if you're surfing, right? When the wave's pulling out, then you can see, oh, there's a big wave. And I don't know if you guys have been to the beach in nice locations where there's really big waves and there's surfers, you can see like the tide just really sucking inwards, and you know there's a nice wave coming, right? And trading is, the markets are very much the same, because it's an expression of energy and motion, right? And that's why, you know, I'm not going to go too much into the actual strategies in this one here, right? Because, you know, obviously there's people that are paid for that, right? But, you know, for those that know about reverse Fibonacci that I've told you guys about, the reason why that works, and you can see I drew this as an example, right? I was trying to explain to them that this pullback of the tide, right? It shows you kind of how far roughly that tide travels before it runs out of energy. So I know already before it gets here that it's likely going to be an area of resistance. And everything that we use, right? Nothing is lagging. Everything is leading or better, right? Now, this is just one of the things, because if you can figure out which way the wave is going, and again, behind every wave is smart money. Smart money is the only ones that move the markets in a huge way. The little guys, we don't. And that's why it gives you an advantage to know what they're doing. It's okay to use your indicators and whatever you want to use, but your chances of success will increase. I guarantee, okay, if price is rocketing in any market, there's going to be volume behind it. Let's break it down very simple. Prices move because of buyers and sellers, however, regardless of market manipulation, and it's the big volume that makes those big moves. And that's why, you know, people like Wyckoff and Tom Williams, right? They were waking people up to this idea that if you can read the volume, then you could read the markets. But trading has evolved today now, where the smart money has purposely made it so most people are trading indicators. Most people are not trading markets. And you can be a really, really good trader. I'm not gonna dispute that, right? And there's some really, really amazing traders out there that use indicators. But you'll find that they've just spent so many years and years and years using that indicator, long enough that they've noticed how to use it, if that makes sense, right? They don't use it just like anyone else uses it. And most traders that I know that use indicators, they don't use just indicators. Professional traders, right? Traders on Wall Street, right? Some of you guys have heard of SMB Capital. I've told you guys to, some of those guys have doing homework for me. I've sent you guys to look at that stuff. There's a reason why, because they teach you that retail markets enter trades based on technical analysis, if not all, right? But the professional traders, they actually trade 80% fundamental, 20% technical, okay? Because that fundamental becomes a catalyst. But this style of trading that I teach people, you don't even need to really look at the fundamentals. And that's why I said, like, you know, when you are, you know, I had that meme that I created. I've never in my life created a meme. But if you look at my website here, I created this meme here, right? Because I couldn't find the exact one, so I created it. So what are you saying, that I can trade without indicators? And Morphe says, no, when you're ready, you won't need them, right? You won't need to know the fundamentals. You won't need to know even support and resistance. I don't even really look at. I only look at support and resistance levels for liquidity, which they're going to run, you know, the market to hit the stops, right? But you don't need that, because you're looking at what the smart money is doing, and they're the ones that are going to run this market. And there's one thing that, if I can try to explain to you guys that are new to this, right? One of the things that volume tells us is it reveals us the path of least resistance. And simply put, according to the books, that these players that are manipulating the markets, they don't just do it whenever. They wait for specific key strengths and weaknesses in the market to do these moves, okay? And yes, they do it very much in Bitcoin. Wow, unbelievable, right? And those that have been trading Bitcoin with me, well, I mean, that's why we're able to do what we can do, because we're seeing what they're doing before they do it. We have that playbook, right? Not only now that, so, you know, they had our playbook before and how other traders enter, but now I'm teaching people the playbook of the smart money. I'm teaching you what they're looking at. And so when you know that, it increases your odds to be able to place not just better probability trades, but bigger wins. You know, I was talking to someone trying to explain to them why that volume is important, right? because you will have a really good idea which one of your trades will go for, let's say, maybe worth a couple $100 off your entry. Ones you can maybe hold for 500, and ones can maybe you can hold for 1,000. You know, the lower the volume signal you're trading on, like an hourly Bitcoin, for example, you get a volume signal on Bitcoin, it's maybe a couple $100. If you have a volume signal on the daily, 500 to 1,000, right? Volume on the monthly, well, how do you think I nailed this trade, right? Thousands of bucks, thousands. And I proved it. I proved it. Nick, you took the trade. I know you took the trade, right? That was an epic trade, man. That was so epic. That was such an awesome trade. And I do encourage you guys to take a look. You know, I did put a little bit of a case study together, right? You can take a look at that. But again, obviously I go through all the details that, you know, people have been paying to learn about the exact details of it. So it's not all in there. But yeah, this stuff works like crazy, right? Because this stuff was given to us in the 1930s. It's just that, again, the scandal was that the educators and the brokers, they don't want you to know this stuff. Because if you know this stuff, then you can start winning. And you're a pest if you start winning. You remember back in the days where they used to mess with traders that would like become extremely profitable in their accounts and they wouldn't fill their orders and stuff? Yeah, when you become profitable on your broker's account, you become a menace. You become a menace and they want to get rid of you, right? This business, right? The broker has a negative narrative against its clients. And that's trading, right? Well, if you're using a broker, unfortunately, that broker has an incentive that you lose money. So what do you think he's going to feed in your news feed? What do you think he's going to push together, you know, educators, right? Which they get cuts, you know, to get people onto trading platforms. It's a huge scam, guys. And after 11 years, I'm telling you guys the truth, right? I'm red pilling you guys the truth. This is the truth. Trading, it's a scam. It's a big scam. But if you know the rules, you can play within their playbook, right? You got to be damn good just to be profitable, right? We know, like I've spent hours and hours with people that, you know, they've spent their whole life trying to become profitable. Like they just can't figure it out. They don't know how to make it work. And it's designed like that. You know, you were never, you know, you were meant to lose. And I wrote that down here, right? You were meant to lose, right? That is trading. You're meant to lose. So, you know, SMA trading is about turning that around, saving people's accounts, empowering people to really what it is that you can get a real edge in this market. So if you're profitable, you can use our ideas to become more profitable, right? So I'm going to go through that just quickly here, this 100x Bitcoin trade. So I'll show you where I entered, okay? And because I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I'll show you, okay? Okay. We had two, okay, so if you guys recall, and this was just when we were launching SMA trading, right? Kingsley, I was in the middle of a consultation with him. He wanted to know about volume, spread analysis, and we nailed that trade. It was on April, I think that's when we started it, right? It was April, yeah, April 20, okay? So we opened the trade here on April 20, the start of the day on April 22nd, April 21st, April 22nd, right here. The close of this day, we opened it right here. Look at this, guys. Look how fast it went in our favor. Look how fast it went in our favor. Okay, and we held it all. We held it. We held the whole move here. Okay, we had a whole plan put together, and you can look at the video if you want more details on it. But we held it all through here. And our original target was around 11,000, I believe. It was around 11,000, right? 11,000, 12,000. And something happened in the market where it actually went sideways. And so the market changed. It did something a little bit different according to plan. But the markets, right, real good traders, and I'm going to go back to my story with this, right? Real good traders, they're not black and white traders, right? They realize that trading is a creative thing. That's what Wyckoff, he taught people to be creative trading. But what is trading today? It's become methodical. It's put people in this box-like thinking you could just trade this pattern and be rich. yeah, okay, you can become profitable with that, but you want to make like legendary trades, you want to do trades like this, it takes creative thinking, right? Go watch The Big Short. That's creative thinking. That was trading. They did one trade, they cleared the table. They used creative thinking. And that's what I also encourage other traders, because there are a lot of students that did take this trade, but they didn't get the 100x, right? They didn't get the 100x trade like I did. Some of them walked away with 900%, others did 600%, some did 1300%. I mean, that was awesome. It was great because we all entered the same, but you know, some of them, they maybe panicked. One of the things I find is that, you know, if you start learning to trade like this, the hardest thing is to hang on when the market starts flying in your favor, right? That's one of the things that I teach and I mentor and I help them try to hold to those areas, right? When the market starts rocketing in your favor. So what we did is when it went sideways, right? And you can see in the video, I mentioned that sometimes things go according to plan. Sometimes things don't go according to plan. Sometimes things go better than according to plan, right? And again, I apologize that my charts are messy, right? It's because I use them for teaching, okay? And I teach them, like these are entries on like the 1 hour. So obviously it looks a little bit messy here. So we got another entry, guys. We got another entry and I'll show you where we entered, okay? We got a chance to double dip the trade. So we risked 1.5% at the 6,800 level, okay? 1.5%. Originally, you know, thanks to my mentor, he always got me to risk 1%. So I risked 1.5 just because of the unique situation we're in. Again, talk about creative trading. We analyzed that all the probabilities and volume were in our favor, amongst other things, and we decided we're gonna risk 50% more on this one because this trade only comes once every now and then. So we risked 1.5% on that, okay? Then we got another trade here, and because of the situation, we decided, okay, we're gonna lead into this on another 1.25, not 1%, but we'll raise 25% more. So we took the trade right over here. I'll show you our price, the second trade here. And I did this publicly, okay? I'm on Telegram, you guys know, right? And I posted this like in all the groups that I could, right? Trying to tell anybody about this, because back at 6,800, we weren't, you know, I was doing that only for our private group of the group I was teaching, right? But now since we ventured outside helping other traders, I was letting people know, okay, this is where we're entering. And so we entered right at the close of right here. So we entered right here. And it went a little bit in our favor, and then it went against us for a bit, and then boom, you see that? This is not an accident. This is not an accident because we were entering on the 1 hour, but we were trading on the daily, going with the strength of the smart money. We saw them buying, we saw them accumulating, and the path of least resistance was up, and it just went boom, it went in our favor. So this trade, okay, not only I think, and we got shaken out, so the aftermath, what happened to it, this huge crash here, I wanted to protect my profits because it was a crown trade, and I didn't want to give too much profits back. So I actually got shaken out. My original target here was 12,300, and it just slightly missed it. And then we had that flash crash, right? And we got shaken out. So I got out with 90 to 1 on my 1.5. And this one here, I believe it was, let's see here, 10,100. I already have it over here, yeah. So that was I think I just moved this by accident, but it was like roughly around a 40 to 1. I mean, these were amazing trades. And this was a small trade here. And I did this in front of everyone, right? And you can see that my stop loss was super, super tight. Super, super tight, right? Because, you know, I teach people how to place what's called strategic stop losses. Coming from scalping, I learned how to place my stops because you got to be very strategic when you're placing, you know, just strategic stops. So I just wanted to say as well that, you know, one of my story, okay, is that, all right, so actually before I get into that, so because I want to make sure I cover these things quickly. So how to effectively build and design trading method that performs in any market. Yes, if you do it with volume, right, you're going with the smart money. So I kind of touched on that really, right? As long as you incorporate volume in something, it will help perform in those different market conditions. Methods that don't have that type of component into it, you're really kind of at the mercy. You don't know if you're going with the smart money or not, right? You also want to have a method that lets your winners run, right? That you don't get what you want, you get what the market allows you and gives you, right? I teach traders to separate themselves, that ego from their trading, that they let the market, so if the market wants to give you 100x, let it, right? Don't take 20x. Don't take 30x, take 100x, right? And so that's why I use this trade as a case study to show you, right, what it's like when you let the market give you what it wants to give you. And I got shaken out, so that's what the market decided to give me, right? Cutting losses quickly, right? You need to have a method that has that cuts your losses quickly, so that if you can control the losses, right, quickly, then the gains will take care of itself, right? I'm a firm believer in that, and I teach all my students that, okay? The holy grail in trading, it is a couple things, okay? It's not just like one thing or a trading method. And Wyckoff kind of was educating to it, and I kind of told you guys about it, that the holy grail to trading is creative trading. It's not methodical trading. There's no method. That's the holy grail. It's creative trading. Looking at the bigger picture. That's why volume works so well, because it's looking at the bigger picture. That trade that I did, I was looking at the monthly volume as well. And that's why I entered 50% more risk, right? But I can't tell you all the other traders in the cryptocurrency world, none of them were looking at the monthly volume, none of them. And still today, not one of them. I can't find a single one of them. You guys show me one person that's still been able to spot the things that we were spotting, and we were screaming at other traders, right, to look at this, right? It's going up. In the last couple of months when it was going sideways there, when we were trying to get a position long, most people were bearish. Most people were bearish, but we were loading up trying to get long. We got shaken out a couple times with some profit. Then we nailed the big one, and then it just went, right? But, you know, when that is really the holy grail training. It's a creative trade. And I learned this from those that were instrumental in teaching me. I talked about when I was being frustrated, and this kind of, I'll tie this into my story, right? I used to trade like 15 hours a day, right? Doji can tell you that. I was always here, right? We had a team of traders going. We had a hell of a time. It was so fun. I still miss those days, man. I'll never forget those days. It was so fun trading with you guys. I'll never forget that. But, you know, those days over there, right? I had my mentor, and he was trading like maybe 1 hour a day or not. And he was outperforming all of us. He was making a killing. He's the one who got spotted, headhunted, went to the hedge fund, right? And yeah, it drove me crazy. But now I get it. I know why I struggled back then, because I was thinking, trying to put it in like a box. I was trying to put it together to a method, a step-by-step method. I was talking to Lewis too. He said, "Can you put this in a step-by-step method?" And I was like, you know, I kind of saw myself, oh, okay, well, this is what most people are trying to do. They're trying to put it down to this particular method. And yeah, okay, that's one thing. And you can be successful with that, because if you're entering right, you may be lucky with your indicators. If you're entering right, and you got good risk reward, you got good money management, right? And you got a good mindset, there you go, right? You can win, right? But the holy grail trading, what I found, it's creative trading. And that's not one thing. It's looking at the holistic picture, learning to understand markets. Don't just understand your indicators, but learning to read markets. And markets, volume is king, right? And those that have already exposed that long before even I was born, guys, right? So one of the chart patterns and linguistics. Okay, why traders take 4 to 5 years before they stop losing money. Save My Account trading, or SMA trading, smart money analysis trading. We sit down, and the consultations we do, I've had some very interesting discussions with people. And in my time, because I've always been involved with other traders, you know, when you sit down and trade the markets and you look at patterns, you learn to recognize the patterns. Well, traders are the same thing. There's linguistic patterns, because guess what, guys? We all know 90% of trading is psychological, right? But the biggest problem is that traders take 4 to 5 years to figure out what those problems are. And it's probably because it takes that long to learn from it, and why you have to journal, and you have to track, and you have to do all those things. Some of you guys have seen all the trackings I've done, you know? Doji, you know, man, how much tracking we did. Holy smokes. So much tracking. It was insane, right? the stuff that we did on like a Friday night, right? Tracking while our friends were out having fun. Trying to get an edge and trying to get better, right? When you're doing things by yourself, that's why it takes 4 to 5 years to become profitable, because you have to first burn your account, a couple accounts, lose a whole bunch of money, and then after 4 to 5 years, you can start making money. Then you start learning what works. Then you start learning from your journaling, the errors of your mind, and you learn to correct that, right? and there's these linguistic patterns, there's these things that you say, things that the way you talk about a trade, when you're entering a trade, when you observe a trade, before you even enter a trade. I had to correct a trader just recently, right? I told him, I said, calm down. Said, calm down. You don't even know if this trade is going to work or not. For all you know, we can lose, right? But if you're getting excited about it, maybe you're excited about making money, and you're already anticipating that you're going to win. You anticipate you're going to win, you might have problems taking that stop, right? Just simple things like that, but they mean a huge thing. And this is what eludes most traders. They come up with great methods, but they just can't seem to put it together because their linguistics, their mindset is all sorts of screwed up. So there's only two ways I told, and I just got to finish the consultation with someone today. I was trying to explain to them, like I do with everyone else. There's only two ways to do this, okay? You either go 4 to 5 years, 6 or more, right? And start losing money and pay your education fee that way and start making money, right? Or you find some sort of mentor that can teach you and help you, because what he's going to do, a good mentor, right, will not only teach you how to trade, but he'll monitor you and he'll monitor your linguistics, what you say and the way you think, the way he'll look at your journal, he'll look at your trades and monitor you and watch you closely, what it is you're doing, so he can stop you before you blow up your account, before you make a mistake. Just like how volume, it gives you that early sign. Well, linguistic patterns that I wrote it down here, linguistic patterns, right? Those are identifiable for me as a mentor, where I can correct those things in your mind. So it's not just teaching you how to trade like this, right? It's about having that certain mindset, and that's really only going to be found in mentorship, right? Other than that, you got to do it yourself, and it's going to take 4 to 5 years. Okay. So what I found from today's trading rooms, online courses, consultations. So what I did is I decided to, because I wanted to see what it is. I'm trying to find my place in the trading education world since I started this venture, right? How am I different? And I clicked on every single YouTube ad. Because, after looking at all like the trading, YouTube videos and stuff, I get all the ads that you guys get, right? And so I clicked on every single one that was promising returns, and even people were talking about, the banks manipulating the markets, and this is how we're taking advantage of it. And I looked at all that stuff, and I found none of it was anything close to what I'm teaching you guys. None of it. And I still look at them, right? Just trying to find what's out there, just seeing if I can find another trader that's using. But again, I'll ask you one question. If people say, well, why is yours different? It's like, well, do you know who Tom Williams is? What do they say? No. Do you know what Wyckoff is? Okay, maybe. Right? Do you know what VSA is? Guaranteed, probably not. Again, I told you, only one other trader knew about it, right? So it's a 90% accuracy. Why would you not want to incorporate that? Oh yeah, because they're looking for a method. Most people are looking for that particular method, right? They want to learn a method. But it's that, again, it's that box-like thinking. And the holy grail is in creative thinking and trading, okay? So, yeah, so I wanted to make sure I covered all these things, and I did. So today, we've, since we started, we've got some amazing results. I'm so proud of the guys that have been putting the stuff. It works, guys. It works. And I'm just trying to figure out, how am I going to, because I can't do this for free. There's no way. I can't do this for free. I don't have time, and my wife certainly would not let me do that. I can tell you that, right? And I want to work with the qualified people, so obviously I got to charge for this, right? But it's not about the money for me. And everyone who knows me, it's not about the money. But you got to commit to this, and that's what money represents when you are paying for the services, right? I had discussions with so many people telling me, you got to get rid of your lifetime money back guarantee. And you know what? They're right. I finally decided to get rid of it. Okay. So I decided to get rid of my money back guarantee. It's only because, first of all, I shouldn't be doing that. And I put myself, and especially now that I'm opening it up to more people, it's no longer, so things have changed. Okay. I'm not doing my lifetime money back guarantee. And I'm not doing even a no questions asked money, no questions anymore. If you want to do this, okay, if you want to really learn this business, right, you really want someone to take you by the hand, because as we talk about many times, it's hard to find someone that really knows this stuff. It's hard. I know. I've been there. I know what it's like to struggle, to spend hours trying to figure out yourself, to have a whole team of us trying to figure out how do we do this? And we're looking for mentors and someone that would sit down with us and actually take you and walk you and take accountability for your success, right? That's what the guarantee, that's what I wanted to have. And that's why I've never had a refund request. Still today, yeah, guys, still haven't had a refund request since I launched it back then. Those had. And I know I do have some people here that have actually taken, I wanted to, and some of you guys have, heard, I just wanted to, let's see, let's start from, let's start with the local suspects. Andrew, are you there? Andrew?
I'm here.
Okay, man, just really briefly, quickly, what's your experience with working with us?
Oh, wow, it's amazing. So far, it's opened up my eyes to quite a few different things. I was working with another local Vancouver mentor before who educated me quite a bit on half of your classroom material, which led me into your knowledge and experience, and I just my second trade that I entered was quite a fun trade, because it actually just followed your steps on this process, and I was just kind of blown away with how, well, not say simple it was, but just how straightforward and easily understandable it is to get to where you want to go and make these trades more probable. So
good. No, thanks, man. So yeah, you don't want a refund. Okay, good. Thanks.
Nope. Nope.
All right. So just going back through, just briefly, yeah, thanks for that, Andrew. So just going back through, what I decided, how I'm gonna help traders, right? So back then I didn't have an online course, but after all these consultations, I realized I can't keep doing it. It actually, after that one meeting I had, I was so busy. Sam's like, hey, you're pretty busy. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty busy. So I was busy after doing that one session. I realized that, these times it's not gonna be able to do it forever. So, and not everyone could make those classes. So the people's schedules are changing. The whole world's a mess right now, right? So, and I was repeating myself many times too in the sessions. So I decided I'm gonna make an online course. So I did. I created an online course, right? Here it is, right? And I have a special deal only for you guys. Yeah, this is not a marketing gimmick. I already spoke to Sam about that, right? I have a special deal only for today, because guess what? You guys are whoever's here, whoever's watching this, you guys are the first to see this. I haven't launched this anywhere. People know that I'm starting this, but this is the first time me actually officially presenting this, right? And I'm gonna be presenting this to a lot more others. But this deal that I'm doing, I'm never gonna do it again. And people who know me know that I'm real. When I tell you how it is, it's how it is. And it's not worth, I don't lie. I'm very truthful in what I tell you. So I'm telling you now, right, that I'm putting a deal for you guys together, right? Or you spoke with Sam about it, right? And okay, but I'll tell you guys a little bit about that one. So the other one I decided is, and I know my students been asking for this, is we want a room that we can all trade together. And I said, okay, great, we'll do that. I'm going to resurrect my old trading group. Doji, remember those days where we had a trading group? I'm bringing that back, baby. It's coming back. And because now we're all going to be using the same thing. We're all using SMA trading. We're going to trade every single market that we can. So now if you don't have time to do the charting and stuff, there are other people who are going to be there. But this room, and I have all the stipulations, you can read them here on the website, okay? This room was meant for those that are under mentorship. They get that for free. I created that for them. It doesn't do you good if you're in a trading room and everyone's trading a different method. Definitely not good for your psychology either, right? I do it because I want to see what other traders are doing, right? That's my business as a teacher. But you as a trader, don't get involved with other trading rooms, right? So this one here, right? I'm allowing people access into this. A one-time access, if you want access into this, it's $332 one-time fee, and I offer 30-day money-back guarantee. And that one is a no questions asked. That one's a no. I don't need you to prove to me that you don't like it. So that's something, if you want access to that, because there's going to be a lot of valuable stuff in there, we're going to be actually discussing every trade. Because I've already been doing that, guys, right? I've been posting my stuff here, and I've been individually, oh, Lewis said he can't make it. Okay, so I've been individually talking to all my students, right? And I'm gonna bring it all together so we can all get a chance in this market. I know you guys are busy. This type of training was not meant to be I don't want you guys to be sitting on the charts and becoming slaves to the market. I tell you guys all the time, don't be slaves to the market. Where we're entering, you guys have lots of time to get in. If you're a breakout trader, I can see why. You're probably a slave to the market. I know, because I used to be. Scalping 1 minute charts, right? But this type of trading, most of those entries I told you, like you had lots of chances to get in, right? That's what I love about the style method. You don't have to trade for a living, right? And not do anything else. You can do whatever you want. You just need to know, you spot the areas where smart money is getting in and you ride it, right? You take advantage of it, right? So this room is going to be incredibly valuable for all my students. And I can't wait to this because I also don't have time. This week I missed a lot of trades because I was so busy launching this business, right? So this one here, anyways, they have that. The other one here is I wanted something for everyone because I know everyone's at different levels, right? This one here, you have access to my personal trade journal. So I post everything that I've been trading ever since 2017, and it's specifically for the crypto markets, but you know, I do other stuff as well. You can get access to my personal trade journal where I do all my calls if you're interested in that. That is a one-time fee of $33. As you can tell, I've been having fun with the pricing, okay? So free consultations, again, I do those sessions where I want to sit down and figure out where you guys are at. I want to help you guys become successful in this. I know what it's like. I want to be the mentor that I wish I had to you, okay? So the deal that I'm offering, and I'm finishing off with this, okay, is that I spoke with Sam, SMA Trading, the online course, for those that do want to take it, and if you really want the last course you're ever going to need, okay? Some of you guys have spent thousands of stuff, and I know what that's like, okay? That's why I've offered the money back guarantees. I'm confident in it, okay? But you got to prove to me you've at least tried to use our stuff, right? Before you ask your money back, if you do, okay? But this one here, okay, and I'm not lying, I decided to show you guys. So I built this online course. Sam, I want to thank you for showing me Thinkific. It was awesome. It was awesome to build the online course. It took me months, it took me a couple months to put this together, guys. But it's also 11 years in the making and over 40,000 hours crammed into 7 hours of the filtered gold, right? And so I decided for only three, so you can see this is the code here, right? I'm just creating it. I'd already created it, okay? So whoever is on this here, right, there will only be 3, okay? And I decided to do this just, you know, for fun. I mean, I created it and I know that other people will buy this course in the future. I just wanted to, you know, do something fun. So I decided to do 33% discount, right, for only 3. So 3 people that use this code for this course. And it's now, I believe it's already live now. You can actually purchase it now, right? So that's the course here. Yeah, here's the course, right? This one, obviously, I'm the owner of it. So, but it will say, you know, purchase there. And if you say you have a code and you plug that code in, right, 333, you will get a discount of $660 US off this course. So anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know that this is a special thing that I put together. I'm not doing this for another group promo. The other promos, if I do, I'm going to do like maybe 20% or not even, maybe 10%, something like that. But this is the promo. I'm so excited to work with the people I already have. My schedule is already starting to book. Ben, I really look forward to working with you. Thank you for spending the time today. I really look forward to helping with you with your trading. Now today, I know people are going to start booking appointments and being busy with me. It's going to be, you know me, guys, I'm busy. So trying to schedule the consultations and the appointments, we'll have to work on it, right? So I have a system now that I've built in place where you can go to the website if you want, right? And you can go to sign up if you want to take the mentorship, right? And you can see that if you take the mentorship, after 2 sessions, you'll get access to the trading room for free. And after 8 sessions, you will get the course for free. Okay, you get the course free, which is 20. I also have an indicator. I haven't really got into that. I'm just going to finish off with that. We built an indicator to show you these setups. So if you're going to use an indicator, we decided to build one. Lewis, he built one. Spent 100+ hours on it. not presenting here tonight. That's still getting worked out, but that part is all going to be there for everyone who's deciding to take this journey with us and who wants to work with us. So that there, I can't wait for my students to be using that. It's supposed to be a tool. It's not a holy grail. It's to help you guys with your creative trading, but it's very instrumental to have something that say, hey, smart money is doing something here. Here's an email, right? For me, that's going to help me a lot and our students. So, that's really good. So I know if you guys, I didn't leave space for questions, but if you have questions, you want a consultation, you want me to take a look at how you're trading, you want me to see if this is a fit for you, click here. You can click here, sign up, set up an appointment here, right? That's a whole system I got. You can pick the date and time, and I'll let you know if I can make it or not, right? And we'll find a time that we can do those consultations. If that's not of interest to you and you want to explore other stuff here, it's all welcome here. But again, there's so much I could do. I'm trying to stick to 1 hour. Thank you for your time. I sincerely pray from the bottom of my heart that each and every one of you find success in this extremely challenging business. It's really the hardest thing you could ever attempt to do. You're a little bit crazy and insane for trying to do it. So my hats and tips off to you guys for being in this business. Thank you, Sam. Hey, Sam, you there? Doji, thanks for coming, man. Means a lot. I still want to catch up with you. I want to know how you're doing. I know you have a trading team going on as well. So, again, if you guys, my email too. If you guys want my email, I'll type it in here. SMA trading 911@gmail.com. You can also email me as well too. I was getting flooded on my personal, so SMA trading. SMA trading 911@gmail.com. There you go. Perfect. All right, guys. So again, yeah, you guys can go. I mean, come on, you guys got things to do, right? Okay, there you are,
Kevin.
Sam.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Wish you guys good luck. Thanks again, Sam. Good night, everyone.
Have a good night.